What up, y'all? It's Dominic369 coming back at you for Occultism Unleashed. Today is January the 10th, and I really want to talk to you guys about the cryptocurrency, man. Everybody is panicking, fear, uncertainty, and doubt, FUD, whatever you want to call it. It's important that you pay attention to the astrological features that's going on right now. We understand that for the time being, the world market is based on the United States dollar. If you look over here in the United States, second house, which rules money, and it rules more than that, but right now we're talking about money and currency, so that's what we're going to stick to. When it comes to, Mercury, the planet of thoughts and ideas and communication, it's in Aquarius, but it's also in the shadow of retrograde. So as Mercury goes retrograde in the money house, it's going to move back into Capricorn, leading people more, traditional financial values and things like that. You also have the sun in Capricorn highlighting the traditional financial values of money and things like that. And you have Venus, the natural ruler of the second house, because Taurus is naturally placed on the second house cusp, is retrograde in the second house of money in the sign of Capricorn, the traditional values. So people are reverting back to traditional ideas of money as the uncertainty caused by Mercury retrograde adversely affects the price of crypto. Is creating fear and doubt. Because if you look at Mercury in the money house, it's squaring Uranus. Uranus rules technology. It rules the sign of Aquarius, which rules technology, the internet, innovation, digital currency, cryptocurrency, fintech, and all these things. Mercury was moving into a square with Uranus. Now, a square, for those of you guys who aren't familiar with astrology, a square is a 90-degree angle, and it forces people to change. It tells you, okay, you've been going straight in this direction for a long time. You need to bust a hard right or a hard left. So that square was encouraging change, with the current climate in the cryptocurrency. And as it moved into perfecting the square, Mercury moved into the shadow of retrograde. So before Mercury could really firmly set the idea of digital currency, cryptocurrency, NFTs, fintech, disruptive innovation when it comes to finance, firmly into the collective conscious about money, it retrograde and backtracked. And a retrograde isn't a bad thing. It's saying, hey, we need to, give some of these traditional things another look and see how we can implement these or incorporate them into our future dealings. People like to cling to what's safe. The saying familiarity breeds contempt is something that really applies right now in this current situation, because people are used to the things that bring them comfort and security, and it doesn't change in the financial sphere. So as Mercury retrogrades for the next couple weeks, it's going to go back into to Capricorn, making the stocks and gold and the dollar a little more stronger for the time being. But once that Mercury goes back direct at the end of the month, it's going to hit that square to Saturn, to Uranus, I mean. And Uranus is going to be direct also. It goes direct on the 18th of January. And as Uranus goes direct in the traditional sign of money, Taurus, the sign that's traditionally placed on the second house of money, as Uranus goes direct, it is going to start bringing about those good changes, man. It's going to start bringing about those good financial changes and the embraces of cryptocurrency. The first planet that Uranus, which rules, the third house in the United States chart of communication, thoughts, and ideas, it's gonna hit a nice sextile to the sun. And the pressure that's being applied by the foreign community to embrace cryptocurrency, embrace fintech, embrace this disruptive change is going to hit the consciousness of many other people. Because the sun, the ruler of the ninth house and higher education and our international community, is in the eighth house, you are going to see a revolution. You're going to see a motherfucking revolution financially, because you are going to see big crypto whales, big holders in crypto starting to issue out loans to help people not only get into the crypto space and digital finance space. You're going to see them helping them get loans to really fund their businesses and everything, man. You're going to see a revolution, and it's nothing they can do about it. It's nothing they can do about it. And they're going to come to the realization as Mercury, moves back into direct motion at the end of the month. You're going to see the crypto pumping up, the prices going up as the sun moves into Aquarius, and Venus goes direct at the end of the month and moves into Aquarius. You're going to see Mercury goes direct. I mean, February 4th to be exact, but it moves out of the shadow of retrograde at the end of the month. You're going to see the innovation that I'm talking about. You're going to see the rebellion. And it isn't going to take a gunshot to be fired. All it's going to take is people is deciding that enough is enough. Because there's people and institutions that have more wealth in cryptocurrency than some banks have on hand. And it's going to be able to fund, different types of projects. As Uranus moves into the sixth house rules farming, agriculture. Look to see some crypto investors bringing agricultural assets into the blockchain, incorporating, small farms or funding small farms to do something about the inflation. Aquarius is also the sign of humanitarian work and altruism. I don't want you to panic about these, slight price drops. Seize the opportunity. Educate yourself on the metaverse. Educate yourself, man. Make it a priority to get educated on the metaverse and how you can utilize it beyond what they're trying to make it a thing of entertainment. It's a lot greater than that, and a lot of great innovation is coming. I promise you, as Uranus goes direct, Mercury goes back direct in February, and at the end of the month, Venus goes direct and moves into Aquarius. You are going to see some innovation. Sun and Aquarius, you're going to see innovation, man. You're going to see those prices jump. Some of them are going to triple. I promise you that. It's coming. So take heed if you're wise. Live in fear if you choose to. But at the end of the day, it's a choice. Learn this science because it can help you. It can help you a lot, man. Peace.